The state of New York is now emerging as the epicenter, the biggest coronavirus hotspot in the United States of America. New York State has accounted for more than 33,000 cases and 366 deaths, most of them coming in from the New York City. The World Health Organization said the United States could become the next epicenter of the global pandemic. US President Donald Trump has urged people to move, in fact, from New York from the coronavirus hit places without any further delay. Now, public health officials in New York State are hunting down for beds, medical equipment, and have put out a call for doctors and nurses, fearing that the number of those affected might explode in the coming weeks. New York University offered its medical student graduate students so that they could join the battle against coronavirus. Remember, Donald Trump has come under sharp criticism for his handling of this entire crisis.
We've been spending a lot of time with New York officials because that really is by far the hottest spot. They've got a number of very tough weeks ahead of them. The governor's doing a very good job. I spoke to the governor, Governor Cuomo, last night and this morning, and he mentioned that in his remarks that he's using that we are using, and I think he feels, because he understands negotiation, he thinks we're using very appropriately the Defense Production Act, and we're using it where needed. It's a great point of leverage. It's a great negotiating tool. But I will tell you, there's tremendous spirit from people and tremendous spirit with respect to these companies. And I don't have to use it very much at all. They want to do it. As you know, General Motors is involved, Ford's involved, 3M's involved, others are involved, and they're all working very hard to produce all different products.
The painful obligation I have every time I join with you to tell you the overall numbers, and I will say every single time, these are human beings, these are families represented in these numbers, these are our neighbors. So in New York City today, as of the official numbers from this morning, the last official count that we have, 17,856 cases, almost 18,000 at this point. Now, at this point, our cases in New York City constitute about 54% of the total in the state of New York, and about 32%, almost a third of the cases in the United States of America. And very, very sadly, now the death toll from coronavirus in New York City has reached to almost 200.
Let me now go across to Pavni Mithil, journalist who is reporting from this very epicenter of the crisis, the coronavirus pandemic in New York. Pavni, good morning to you there in New York, and thank you for joining us. Just give us a sense, because a lot of people, especially those who have relatives in New York from India, are absolutely anxious. There is a two contrasting model of what is happening in India and the situation which is spiraling out of hand in New York.
Well, it is, and you have to understand that this is a very dense city. So because of that, there's, the spread is pretty wide. And also, if you listen to the governor, he said that they're now thinking that the virus was probably alive and spreading before any of the measures started. But the good news is that they think that the social distancing is slowing the spread. The hospitalization rate, which is still very high, can be sort of slowed down if the social distancing measures are to stay in place. And just let me be clear, unlike in India where you have a complete lockdown and you have cops patrolling the street, we don't have that situation in New York. And all non-essential businesses are shut. Of course, grocery stores, etc., are open, and people have been asked to work from home. But, if you look around me, you will still see some people here and there, because you are allowed to go for a walk.
Okay.
You can walk your dog. You can go and get essentials. But I think because of the numbers, the good thing is I think people themselves are feeling that they shouldn't really go out. So I think the measures have really kicked in voluntarily now. And some of the other concerns the governor had with, regards to parks and things like that, they are addressing that, because this is a measure that seems to be working.
Right, Pavni, we'll keep coming back to you because this is one story that also needs to be told, what is happening in New York, and it also brings the contrast of how two different approaches are working in this battle against coronavirus. Thank you so much for the time being, for joining us from the New York City.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.